I feel like a lot of no-code companies are not adjusting well enough to how the market has evolved. There are a few companies that are doing it okay. I'll be honest, I'm not going to put Webflow up there as one of them. I don't mean to be a hater. Webflow is obviously an incredible tool. I just don't feel that as much anymore. Other people are catching up with the tools that they're creating.
Webflow is in a position where they could actually do the greatest thing ever.
But do you know who I do actually think could become the AI design?
Oh!
I just don't see how tools like Lovable or all those other tools are actually encouraging people to understand what it is that you're doing there, because it's not really in their interest for you to move your stuff into a repository like that. I mean, I know they allow you to do it, but again, I think a lot of these companies prefer just keep it in here. We'll have some checkpoints for you and all that kind of stuff.
Webflow code export. It's the same thing. Webflow allows you to export your site. They're not lying. They do that. You can do it, but it's like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Trust me, you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
And I would love to have another conversation maybe where I would love to see how you build what you build, exactly what you're telling me with Webflow and with Airtable, and I would love to try to do the same thing with my stack. You know this. I was a Webflow developer. I saw some of your videos. I got really into MemberStack and building web apps with Webflow. Yeah. Now I'm here. Now that's all I do. I almost never build marketing websites anymore. But I spent so much time and I did so many videos, so many tutorials on this Webflow MemberStack make stack together. And I don't see people building with those tools. I mean, they build with all of those tools, but not all of those tools together anymore. I don't want vibe coding to be taking over no code because of exactly what I said. We're going to run into a generation of people who have no fundamental understanding of any of this stuff. That's my concern. And so,
I'll say a few things about that. The first thing that I'll say is that at the end of the day, I feel that people look at no code as kind of like a kid's thing. It's this is kind of what you do if you don't know what you're doing, kind of tools, which is just something that I feel, I don't know where it gets pushed from, probably partially the community, the developer community, all that kind of stuff. But even if you look at MemberStack, these are serious tools. These are essentially serve a specific purpose for a specific type of app. And these tools will stick around if they adjust how they position themselves in the market. For example, so I actually, for the first time in a while, had a new MemberStack project start, and I logged in, and it's the process of setting it up is just so clean now. I hadn't used it in years, and it's just within I think 20 minutes, I had everything set up, log in, the whole shebang was done. There are a few things though that I think are key about what I notice you're doing. First of all, the fact that you are making the videos that you're making on the MemberStack channel is so important, because at the moment, people are primarily attracted to how do I speak into a microphone and make this, and this happen. And all the content that you're creating is around that. The second thing is you need to understand where the market is moving. So the fact that MemberStack has an MCP server is a massive deal, because you sometimes you kind of feel it's just a new thing. No, Airtable doesn't have their own official MCP. Some dude built his own version of the Airtable MCP. I use that every single day. It is can transform, use that, So there's that. You kind of need to look at how well are you adjusting to where the market is right now. And I feel there are a few companies that are doing it okay. I'll be honest, I'm not going to put Webflow up there as one of them. I know that they have done stuff in the space, but honestly, I don't mean to be a hater. This is the thing about it. I don't mean to be a hater, but man, they need, I don't know if Bryant, who used to be their CTO, is still involved with it, but he's the guy who was let's bring DevLink in, all that kind of stuff. When he was in charge of things, I felt there's always something crazy cool in the works with Webflow. I just don't feel that as much anymore. Webflow is obviously an incredible tool. But I mean, other people are catching up with the tools that they're creating. I feel like it's a bit hard to like pinpoint because they're clearly doing things like Webflow app gen and all that kind of stuff is like a big deal. But I just kind of feel like alternatives are popping up and they're becoming more viable options for people that don't fully understand like what Webflow does is kind of the thing, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Just to like throw a few other tools out there, like Glide is another tool that is like really good. In my opinion, for like they've adapted well into how the space is evolving with AI tools. And again, I'm typically not a fan of like all-in-one builders. Simplicity is like the key thing. If you just want to get something up and running fast, it's a really great tool to get started with because it's just visual. There's only so much you can really configure. You're definitely not going to build like the exact design that you want, but I feel for a lot of people that's good in a way as well. But I mean, like they have got like a new database system that like allows you to scale infinitely. You can have like tons of users. They've got their own little issues as well, but I feel like they are again a different entry point for people to get into the product space as well. Another thing is I feel like a lot of no-code companies are not adjusting well enough to how the market has evolved. I'm not going to name names, but they're like, I'm on some enterprise plans with some no-code companies, and I am constantly like, why am I giving them this much money when literally these tools are out here right now? And I just feel like there's no willingness to make adjustments in that sense as well. Because like, if you think about, I want to build a marketing site, how much does it cost to host like your own personal website on Vercel, for example? Like
pretty much almost always free.
It's almost always free, you know? How much are you paying Superbase? Like $20, and then it was like $10 per instance that you set up. And it's like barely in it. The thing is, Airtable, and I'm like on their like highest non-enterprise plan, but I've been on that plan for like ever. It's like $50. It's like, it's too cheap to want to even consider other options, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of these other companies are just not smelling the coffee, for lack of a better way of describing it. I mean, for us, we like see the value in something like Webflow and the CMS plan and the business plan and all that kind of stuff. How on earth are you going to convince new people to use your tool when like it costs like $70 to host like a basic website? Yeah. When you can do it on Vercel for free, and there's just some dude who's made a YouTube video about this where it's like, set this up, this is how much it scales, and here's like a template that you can use. These companies need to like adapt to this. Otherwise, I don't know.
The value needs to be there. Like it needs to be worth it. And that's why I think Webflow is in a position where they could actually do the greatest thing ever. Like Webflow became the no-code tool for professionals building websites. So it's like, because you have things like Wix, you have things like Squarespace. Now, I'm not a fan of stack superiority of any kind. Like the way I see it, if something serves what you're doing, if you want to get a quick templated website up fast, use Wix. If you want a full featured application that does everything you need it to do, use Glide, because why wouldn't you? It has everything that you need it to have. Yeah. Webflow kind of step themselves apart. They're like, no. You've got Wix, you've got Squarespace. They're all well and good over there. Good for them. But if you don't want to do a custom built website, but you still want it to be perfect to your specifications, if you're building for clients, whatever it might be, come right in here. Now AI is coming around. Well, what can Webflow do? The way I see it, if Webflow focused on doing the same thing that they did with no code with AI, as in, so you were mentioning like wrestling with AI over front ends, which it's getting a lot easier, sure, but at the same time, even still, I have to sit there and say, make the corners a little bit more rounded, do this, do that, do this, do that. Can you imagine if you had an agent as good as, let's say, Claude Code? You could build whatever you want, you can access all the code yourself. And then just like in Webflow, where, as you said, you can make a slight change and directly see how X affects Y, that's what Webflow needs to be doing. Like if I could build my projects inside of Webflow and have that same little bit of tweaking to see exactly how everything looks, make it perfect, get a client's Figma file, replicate it perfectly. That is what Webflow, in my opinion, should be doing. And the releases that they've been doing, like, look, you've got the MCP server, you've got code components, you've got app gen. These releases, in my opinion, are good, and I think they're headed on the right track. But the products themselves, once they get in your hands, you're like, I don't know. I mean, code components, it's missing like version control. I literally don't know how they expect people to do version control with code components, but MCP server, I mean, the idea of an MCP server for Webflow. Oh, not to diverge too much. You talked about how you love MCP servers. There's all sorts of hate on the internet right now about MCP server. It's not the best protocol, too much context. Dude, MCP servers changed my life. And
I mean, they are incredibly inefficient, really. But like,
totally.
But it's also in a way neat when you don't need to like create custom API calls to do things.
I don't have to click things, man. I mean, here's the thing. I always say it's like it's the paper straw, in my opinion, or the paper bag. It's like we all know we shouldn't be using plastic bags, so we all know we need an alternative. Yeah. But when I pick up that paper, I mean, you're from Germany, so you know, you pick up like a Lidl bag, and it just crumbles in front of you. I'm like, oh no. So I feel like with MCP servers, you got the people who are saying, you know, these plastic bags, MCP servers, are not good. They're context hogs. Totally agreed. What's the alternative? Not using an MCP server? Now, when I'm using MemberStack, we spent all this time working on a beautiful dashboard. I love it. It's all well and good. But I hate using it because I can literally just connect it to Claude Code, be like, I need a $20 a month plan. I need a data table to hold all of my members' posts, and I need gated content on the app route. Done. You know? So until someone comes up with something better, I'm all in on MCPs.
So, okay, I want to quickly circle back to the whole design thing because I agree with you. I feel like there's like so many opportunities to like really... for the design space to like really evolve. And this is exactly what Webflow should be doing. How can we build something that allows you to basically build the best front ends with any framework that you're using with AI? Because that is, like, Webflow's already built up the brand. They're known for that. Again, I know nothing. This is all just like me making stuff up. But like, I feel like sometimes companies get to a certain point where they get so big that making any significant moves is risky. You cannot do something that could potentially pivot the company in a different direction because you are already at a certain point that if you move too far away from it, it's going to affect like your enterprise customers, and it might affect your overall business value. So that's why I feel like it's just hard. So like when you see companies like WordPress and stuff like that, it's like, I remember when the Webflow space started, everyone was like, oh, you know, WordPress is like a dinosaur and all this kind of stuff. Well, we're now in the Webflow era of this, and there's an opportunity to do it. I just don't know if they are going to be willing to make those changes to adapt to the current market because of where they are as a business. They're not like a startup anymore. They're like, I don't know how far away they are from like going public or something like that, but like they are massive at this point. But do you know who I do actually think, and I don't know this is just a feeling, but do you know who I actually think could become the like AI design tool? Relume. Relume.
Oh, Relume. Oh,
so
Relume.
I feel those boys, innovative. Like they are not afraid to like go out and try stuff. Like they are always, you know, they're very thoughtful. They're not like, let's just like try anything, but they also have a good sense of like what's going on. Both of them, by the way, both of the co-founders. But like I've had like conversations with Dan, and I when I talk to them, I just get a sense that they are like really in tune with how things work. I mean, you know, they're just sometimes people who just like, they just understand things. And I feel like the reason why they understand things so well is because they both ran an agency and they understand it from a perspective of what the customer wants. They also understand it from the perspective of the people actually making things. And I feel like still to this day, they are in the weeds, you know? I know that Adam, I mean, like, obviously he's like in charge of probably all design related and brand related things with Relume. So he's still in the weeds of that. Dan is like the business guy. And so he has a feel on that side of things as well. And I feel like if someone's going to do it, they're going to do it. They're going to like find a way to actually like adapt like Relume in a way that it essentially becomes like the framework that you use to start AI projects. And they'll give you like entire sections. I also feel like Shad CN is probably also one of them that might do it as well. I mean, like I discover things like Tweak CN and stuff through you as well. But like, as you start seeing them come up with like MCP servers and all those kind of things, you can kind of see like, all right, we understand where things are going. Let's lean into it. That is the kind of stuff that I feel like I want to see and want to get excited about. So I don't know. My thing is, I honestly think the Relume guys are probably are more likely to do something in this space than Webflow is. Just purely based off the fact that I feel like Webflow has now gotten quite big. The bigger you get, once like, again, I don't know. So like if any of the Webflow people are watching this being like this, no, I'm sorry, this is just my opinion. Once you get to the stage where like the founders move on and you get the business people in, you lose that little spark that actually moves things along on a product front, and that is the primary driver of the value in a business. So, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. That's why I think like Superbase is doing so well as well. The guys that run it are still the founders. Like they are the people who are like, let's just make this better and better and better and better and better.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Vercel as well. Vercel, everything that they make is good. It's really good. I mean, they picked up super fast a few years ago. Part of this is just because of me, and part of it is because of the company. I had no idea what Vercel was. Now it is massive. I mean, their biggest competitor is Cloudflare, and Cloudflare is like a complete juggernaut. Definitely in the vision side of things. And when it comes to Relume is like, I've never met the guys, never spoken to them, and yet I am so proud of them. And they literally, in my opinion, pulled off the best, because right now with every company pivoting to AI in some way, you've got two companies. You've got the Google, who's like overhaul everything with AI, and you've got the Apple, who's like uncomfortably quiet on it and does absolutely nothing with it. So there's a very fine like pathway to actually building AI features which are genuinely helpful, not just shiny new products. Relume literally cracked the code. And I talked about this in a video recently. My assumption is like exactly what you said. They were, I mean, I guess still are. I don't know if the agency even exists anymore, but like they know agency. They know how professionals build websites, and they used AI to take out all of the like stuff that nobody wants to do, so that you as the professional can just be like, what looks good? What's good? How do I build this? Take it and then take that site to the next level. I haven't seen anyone else do any as good of an application of AI in any product, short of like, I mean, AI chatbots, which are,
I mean, short of you with all your prompting.
I don't know what I need to like have someone do a study on me when it comes to my prompting, because I seem to just get these results and I don't know why. Like my prompting is nothing fancy. It's really not.
Please document what you're doing. I mean, like, even just like, so with the Playwright MCP, I haven't used it for that specific use case, but I am going to now. But you know what I have used it for? This has been like my hack of the century. So when I build like apps or websites for people, because I'm building it for them, one of the things I do now is I document it for them. But the way that I document it is I just send Playwright to basically go through, test all of my different features for me, and then take screenshots along the way, and then it writes these like real awesome guides on how it works with like really nice looking screenshots and stuff like that. And it's happening while I'm making a coffee, and I'm like, this is like, Playwright is a sick one. But oh man, there's just so much exciting stuff going on.